Thank you for tuning in to Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy podcast, where we delve into crazy creatures, evading extraterrestrials, horrifying haunted places, the unexplained, and the conspiracies that surround them. The following content will more than likely involve explicit language and materials, so listener discretion is advised. For bonus materials, uncut video versions of the episodes, and other great perks, go on over to patreon.com/cryptids, creeps, and conspiracy. Dollars for disclosure, half Sawbuck Snally, and Paranormal Posse members will get a shout on the pod, access to the private Discord server, as well as more perks that you can find in each tier. However, if you are using an iOS application, I suggest that you sign up through a web browser to avoid the 30% fee that is charged through the app that is not at all related to the podcast. You will still be able to listen on the app, even though you sign up through the browser. So grab your rose-colored glasses, skeptical suits, and hold onto your butts as we teleport into the realm of the CCC podcast. Hope to see you soon. Go back and check out last week's episode for the background meal and torture methods at the Port Arthur prison. Now let's continue to the spooky side of things. Boys, because this is about to get real gnarly. It was closed when the last convict was removed, and they said that was in 1877. And the land, however, nothing was really done to it, except it was auctioned off in the 1880s.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But during the 40 years that it was running, there was a plethora of death, right? Which we've already kind of figured out. There was a Robert Young, who was a 20-year-old private who was devoted guard and met his end at the hands of a rowdy inmate, which happens a lot, I'm sure.
Okay. He was like guarding prisoners?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this one had prison staff and military staff.
Gotcha.
Like guards. Okay. A visitor to the facility mentioned on Reddit that a tour guide referenced a man who hung himself with the strings of a hammock when in solitary confinement.
Oh my God.
They gave him a hammock?
Yeah, I was going to say, really besmirching the name of what a hammock. Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. Why does he?
Or was the hammock just the bed? Instead of like an actual bed, they just give
still?
hammocks.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Wait, Celine, are you for real? Like a hammock is good for your back?
Because it like supports all parts of your back. At least I'm like 80% sure that is.
I would lower that to 60% because I feel like that's the curvature alone. I feel like is not great.
That's what she said.
Like it's great for like napping, but as like a
it's wonderful for yes. I googled it.
Okay.
It is great unless you have like spinal conditions. So if you have like scoliosis, any sort of like
I got a bone out of place in my back.
Yeah, so probably not for you, Natasha, but
yeah, okay. I was born that way. I was born
for you and me, Matt, it would probably be fine.
I also have had
because it supports
disc, so
well. Then it is just for me, I guess.
That's weird. I wouldn't have assumed. Yeah, I was gonna go with Natasha's like Lady Gaga moment. I'm
just over here going, man, I'm gonna have fun with this later.
I'm having fun with it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the YouTube people.
I was gonna say,
I'm gonna cut all this out.
Visual comedy. So get on YouTube, you pieces of shit.
Okay. So we have the guy hung himself.
Mm-hmm.
Where we left off.
I forgot where we left off.
The recorded death tally of graves alone reached the ghastly total of 1,646 in the Isle of the Dead.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's a lot.
And that's probably not even right.
I was going to say it's probably more.
It's probably more.
I thought you were going to say like maybe 300. Oh, wow. 4 digits is way more than I expected.
Get ready, Matt.
Oh God. No.
This graveyard gathered the grisly corpses of anyone who died on the prison property. Did you like that alliteration for you?
Yeah. Oh.
That being said, only 180 were marked, including the military personnel and staff.
What?
Wow.
What?
That's what it said.
Wow.
All links are in the description. You can fact check me. Or at least the ones I found said that there was only 180.
Wow.
All right, shit's about to get dark again.
It's about to get dark
again.
What?
As recent as April 28th, 1996, tragedy happened in the location.
Okay.
And there was a mass shooting resulting in 35 unsuspecting individuals' deaths, and 23 were injured as a result of the incident, making it the deadliest in Australian history, according to
wow. I will say, to be fair, I feel like
Sorry, inside joke.
No, exactly.
We're inside the joke.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're inside the joke.
Yeah. The location hosts the Haunting Hoedown every night. You're welcome again.
Fun.
The Haunting Hoedown? This is Australia, right?
This? He goes, what is this? He goes, it's hard.
It's hard. It's
I was
a
just
hard
trying
life.
to come up with a gathering that started with H. So Hoedown. Say you're from the Midwest without saying you're from the Midwest. Those not too terrified to tangle with the spirits reported being touched in a room in the magistrate's house. I saw a few reports of that. People getting tapped or pushed or what, mainly tapped. Like they were getting tapped on a lot.
Excuse me, sir. I must confess my sins.
So a couple people had said, look closer. A lot of people said that when they were with a group and someone's like, oh my gosh, like this thing touched me. They were like, can you reenact it with me? And they were like, yeah, that was not like just a gentle tap. It was like a poke. Like really getting your attention. Yeah.
Okay.
There have been apparitions and orbs caught on camera. Guides at the facility report gut-grabbing giggles. I don't know why I came up with that. In a deserted play area.
Okay.
Aww, like a play place in a McDonald's.
Yeah, because I guess there was like a boys, not a boys' house. It was like a boys' school, which I'm sure was not great.
The boys of the mainland who had no families, orphans. That's the word. Yeah,
is for the orphans.
Bring them to Tasmania. Teach them how to be men and die for the righteousness of their country.
I feel like I just did notes or something on something with orphans, and I'm sorry. I'm just like, why I'm having really bad deja vu. One of the two.
You must be thinking of Batman. Yes, yes, Batman and his parents would.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say Batman? Oh, wait, sorry.
Batman.
Another common haunting that hails the halls of the facility is a Hat Man.
Shut up! Are you for real?
Yeah, for real.
No way.
That's amazing.
Does he wear a lot of different hats, or like does he steal hats?
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know. I hope he steals them.
I kind of do too.
Another popular ghostly guest is something that you find in pretty much every haunted place.
A woman in white.
In a dress.
Oh,
yes!
That was,
This one in particular is sporting an 1800s chic gray gown.
Oh,
la, la.
Sorry. She's not white, she's gray.
Yeah. Wife. Maybe it's his wife.
Thank you.
I've been haunting this place for like 3 generations and I don't even... Nobody will clean my dress. It's like brown. Grey. Don't you give me that face, Natasha.
Maybe she came out of the coal mine.
Maybe.
Oh no, that makes it more sad.
She was down there working real hard. Yeah, exactly. She's taking a break.
I was born a coal miner's daughter. Sorry. Now, I did see one source that said there was a spirit of a young boy that they said was waiting to be executed.
Oh.
But no other information was given, and I don't really understand where the kid would be, like where he would come from. Either way, I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if it's real or not. But many have reported unwarranted whispers in the darkness and chills running down their spine. So just an overall uneasy feeling.
Sure.
It's just hell. Yes, hell.
Probably.
And just people just, not feeling good. A lot of investigators say that the parsonage is the most haunted building on the grounds.
Ooh.
Did I mention that I'm pretty sure the inmates built the parsonage?
Oh, of course they did.
I will readily agree, but I will ask real quick, what is a parsonage?
I think it's like the church. So I think the parsonage is the building that the pastor lives in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If I remember, so. To this day, they still have that. Like they might have a building that the church owns that they're not using. So you get to live as long as you're the acting pastor. you get to live
you
in that
usually
house.
have some sort of like living
Quarters.
sort of facility, whether it's like its own standing alone house versus like an apartment type of
I have no
setup.
idea why I knew that.
I don't know. Wait, I genuinely had no idea what that meant.
I don't.
Well, we're
I was
not
like, oh, I
very
know what that is, and
practicing
I didn't even look
Catholics,
it up.
Matt. Fun facts with
No.
Natasha.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get into that later. In that building in particular, a lot of people have reported blindingly bright lights that are flashing, boisterous banging, phantom footsteps, apparitions, supernatural strangulations.
Oh,
you're
God.
Why?
Strangled.
Okay.
Maybe it's the guy with the hammock. I don't know. So you could be outside the building, and people have reported seeing like flashes inside, kind of like those that are provided by old-fashioned flash photography.
Yeah, the old
Okay.
flash
So it's like,
bulbs. Nice.
you know, and they just
yeah,
see the one flash, and they're seeing this from outside the building.
Interesting.
Could be gunshots. Could be like a muffled gunshot is what they're also seeing. Is there like a mafia in the
Gunshot
Tasmania?
or like the Tasmanian mob?
Yeah.
The following was printed in 1893 among a long list of other occurrences in the house. The Clipper newspaper, and it was titled "The Haunted Parsonage." All right, 1893. The Clipper newspaper titled "The Haunted Parsonage." Quote, on one particular night, Mrs. Price was unable to sleep. Suddenly, she became conscious that somebody had entered her room, and glancing towards the door, beheld a human figure draped in white. Her first thought was not to make a move or to speak, but it struck her that the intruder might be a burglar in disguise, intent upon robbing her of her jewel case, and that to attract attention to herself might possibly mean something serious against her life. She therefore lay motionless, but with half-open eyes, followed the movements of the supposed burglar. The mysterious figure, having entered the room, went through the motion of striking a match upon the wall, and immediately afterwards there was an appearance of light as...
After striking a match? That does usually
Afterwards, there was the appearance of light as from a Lucifer. This done it, then made its way round the foot of the bed to a cot in which one of the children slept. For a moment, it stood looking at the sleeping child, then turning round, glided silently out of the room and was gone. Sorry, I was literally reading that as a quote, so that's why it came out kind of weird.
No, I think that her like writing of that is just not modern. So it was a little.
It was very 1893, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
1893 Tasmanian Island kind of speaks.
Yes. But essentially, this woman, there's somebody she thinks is coming in, and she thinks that they're robbing the place or whatever, but in reality, it's actually
some dude lighting up a cigar.
It might be a ghost.
Oh.
Yeah.
That too.
You know, it sounds like a ghost like lighting a candle or something. Like
I was thinking of a burglar
like
who was
lamp.
I was thinking of a dude who's like smoking a cigar and he's like lighting up a thing and she's like, oh no, I didn't see him coming in here.
Well, my thing is it's dark, so she's just assuming it lit a match. Maybe it has that light.
Oh,
like it
okay.
looks
I see
like
what
it's
you mean.
lighting a match.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Alan Arcane, private investigator of the strange and supernatural. On my new show, Mysteria Arcana, I open my case files into the paranormal. I investigate allegedly true accounts of hauntings, cryptids, aliens, and the unexplained. If you're drawn to the mysterious, come explore Mysteria Arcana. Streaming now wherever you get your podcasts.
Now, I'm not sure how. Absolutely. Thank you guys for your contributions.
Well, it's not like they had light anywhere matches back then. They were like on the box, you know? Yeah. But if you're a ghost, you just, illuminate. What if having a cigar was like part of their ghostly visage?
Well, it's like, I don't want them to think I'm a ghost, so I'm going to light the cigar and they'll just think that I'm like just some
I
dude
love
smoking a cigar.
that's my favorite, where they're like,
Look natural,
okay.
look natural, look natural.
Yeah,
look
exactly.
natural.
I'm a ghost. I'm a
just
ghost.
smoking a cigar. Yeah.
I'm more hung up on the fact that she saw them in all white and was like, they're automatically robbing the place when it's like
in disguise. Yeah. Oh my gosh. One investigator also mentioned haunted happenings in the commandant's cottage. A lot of EMF readings, feeling of residual energy, coherent
Okay.
Q&A sessions using EMF readers. They would put one EMF reader on like one side of a bed, the other on the other. One was yes, one was no. Now, I wouldn't be the host that I am without mentioning the skepticism surrounding the reports, right? I like to look at it from all angles here.
Yeah.
Many believe, it goes, okay.
Okay.
Many believe that a lot of the hauntings people experienced were not hauntings at all. Go figure. They attribute the apparitions to a pregame pep talk the tour guides give prior to the pilgrimage through the areas. Did you like that? Let me read that again for you. They attribute the apparitions to the pregame pep talk tour guides give prior to the pilgrimage through the areas.
Which to me is like they're giving a pep talk to the spirits. We're like, all right, look, we've got a group coming through.
It's like,
and they're expecting a certain show. Okay.
You're going and you're going to see, they keep talking about, you're going to see a blue triangle. You're going to see a blue triangle. You might not actually see, but you think you're seeing a blue triangle because they told you it's going to be there.
I literally thought it was them prepping the ghosts.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're loading like the minds of the people who are.
Oh, yes.
They're like, people are coming through. They're expecting this. Put on a show.
Yeah, no. This is like, it's kind of like when you go and they're like, this woman lived here and she died, and all these people see her spirit and she's doing this, she's wailing, she's crying, and then so you think that you're seeing these things, or you're hearing different things that might be a creaky floor or dripping water, and you automatically assume it's something ghostly. Anyway, so that
this is a human psychology thing where they're like priming the people going through to see stuff.
Funny you should mention psychology, because others offer up the far too popular theory that as humans we are predisposed to see faces where there are not any, aka pareidolia.
Sure. Okay.
So other poo-pooers point the proverbial phalange at infrared sound that causes a lot of people to experience different things. So apparently the architecture and location may invoke low frequency waves that could create pressure sensations, potential visual hallucinations, and an overall feeling of uneasiness.
Interesting.
Definitely the last one, for sure.
Some other skeptics also say that the mist that people see on their cameras and such, and random lights, can be attributed to the surrounding beaches, although I'm not really sure how a beach would have anything to do with lights inside a building.
Maybe not the lights. I could understand like the mist and the moisture, but yeah, a beach is not going to create lights, that's for sure.
But that, my friends, is Port Arthur Prison.
Yay.
Oh,
I like that. Thank you.
That is quite the story.
Do you guys have anything to add? Have you ever heard of this place before?
I don't think I've
not
ever heard of
it.
Yeah, not even close to like Tasmania.
Yeah.
I mean, the few things I've heard about Australia were definitely on the mainland. I don't think I've ever.
Yeah.
I would have never assumed that there was like a Tasmanian version of Alcatraz.
Yep. Well, I saw it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I started digging and digging. And I'm like, this has got a lot to it. The one thing that I do not like about it is it was very difficult for me to, for such a place, or a place that is supposedly so haunted, it was very difficult for me to find firsthand encounters or reports of what exactly people see or hear or experience while they are there. It was a lot harder for me to find that. A lot of places, there's all kinds of reports. Like even so Alcatraz, for example, that you always find it. Oh, we see this ghost, and this ghost does this, and this spirit does that, and this taps here and taps there, and EVP's here, and there's all of that there. And for this one, it was kind of hard to dial it in, and I don't know if it's because of where it's at. Maybe not as many people report it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The idea that not Tasmania, Alcatraz is separate but still very close to a highly populated area. So even if you're not necessarily like getting recordings or whatever, you're going to have people returning to their communities, to the mainland, whatever, and telling stories and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like even the mainland of Australia, as big as it is, a lot of it is really widespread and just sort of vacant, like kind of desert land.
Yeah.
And so we have still, it feels like it's been around for a while, but we're still fairly new to the idea of everyone having a camera and a video, recording device in their pocket.
Well, and this is 1800s originally.
Well, right. So I imagine that as much as the land is sparse even today, that like the stories from back in the 1800s would not spread very far very quickly.
That's
so
true.
So like a lot of it is just rumors that they heard from people and not a lot of concrete like first person perspective.
Yeah. And I did see in a couple places that were like, yeah, the weird happenings started like as soon as it closed its doors. It's not like it was a new haunting thing that happened, like, oh, it's just being reported now. I mean, people were reporting it, but they weren't reporting it. Now, granted, that newspaper article was from what would I say, 1893 or something. So that's still about 20 years after the place closed, and it's in the newspaper.
Right. And well before any kind of like mainstream, like before telephones and radios and shit. So it's
before
like
before spooky stuff was popular.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's a story that is spreading before we had any kind of like widespread news coverage kind of thing. Yeah. So this is a story that is strong enough and prominent enough that even in like ancient times before, modern communication, that it was a story that was strong enough that it spread amongst the community.
And maybe there weren't as many accounts because all the people that would have reported it or did report it were in the lunatic asylum.
I was gonna say there's always that. They were like they're in essentially like a penal colony and they want to get out. So it might behoove them to be like, hey, I saw this crazy, creepy shit. And they're like, well, we've got to get them into the newspaper immediately. They can't be on this island anymore. Yeah, we got to get them out.
I thought it was funny. I like puffed on my thamadooge and I was like trying to like blow it on here because I know like if it's like an Instagram clip or something, like they don't like it. So I was going like this and it goes, hide now. I was like,
hide.
I was like, yep, I'm hiding. I did see most of the accounts that I found were all they were all paranormal investigators intentionally going on these tours. And they did say that they have them essentially like every night you can go whatever, but on the first Saturday of every month they have like an additional haunt. I don't know if that's an overnight or it didn't give a lot of details. It just said every first Saturday.
So what I guess the most pertinent question then is, do all of us have a current passport?
No. I need one though.
Yes.
I just need to renew mine.
We can't all flee to Russia and fit in.
No, but we can go to Tasmania and visit a haunted penal colony.
I was making a joke.
As long as that's renewed.
I was making a joke, Vlad.
Look, this American humor of yours does not always translate properly to Russian. Look, do not try to butter me up, okay? As far as like Russian.
You're not trying to butter my bread.
Yes, exactly. Look, I understand where butter comes from.
You gotta get the pun wrong. That's the whole point.
Look, one in
Don't
bushes
you be buttering my
birds.
biscuit.
Exactly. Look, biscuits in Russia are very hard to come by. So
butter my cookie.
Yeah, exactly. Look, my cookie has not been buttered for a long time, okay? So like I was gonna say light gets it.
Problem.
Exactly. Look, butter is often firm. Butter is also often firm and cold in Russia, but if you could warm it up and make it a little bit slippery, that I'm fine with it.
It's like brew gone dirty or something.
What are you talking about dirty? I'm just talking about the butter becoming warm and slippery. There's nothing wrong. Ball light gets it. This guy fucking loves
Oh,
this shit. Yeah, see there? He's like, dude, I totally get the warm butter thing. I'm like, of course he does. Look at him. Look at him go.
He understands much.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Look, warm butter in Russia.
They're gonna be upset when we close up.
I know. That'd be very sad.
It goes on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I can see you're on the shelf, bro.
Yeah, he's like, why am I always stuck back here? I want to be involved in the warm butter. Come on.
Oh no, it's like straight up. Like I can feel it back here. Like it's like all my muscles on one side of my.
Yes.
Thank you.
He's like, yes, I am here.
Like it literally feels like, you know, when you get a sore, like your muscle cramps.
Yeah.
It feels like that from like my shoulder all the way down to like my hip on this side. It's like
oh, that's intense.
Charlie horse. It's really
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
He's like, look, I want some warm butter, okay?
Yeah, give me that warm butter.
Yeah,
Actually, I
I've
just
been.
used the rest of my butter on dinner tonight.
And then the ball of light is like, is euphemism? Butter on dinner? Is that what I'm? Look, I may just be a ball of light
Did you
on
have
shelf.
tacos?
Exactly. Look, I have not had a warm butter taco in a long time. Okay, I'll take a whole mouthful of warm butter taco.
There you
If,
go.
uh,
I'll
warm
butter
butter-
your taco if you know what I mean.
exactly.
Remember it last time? You
Yeah.
was that redhead? That ass
Yeah.
though?
It's one of them's pretty intense, if you know
Look,
what I mean.
I have seen Marvel movies. I like Black Widow and her sister. The one Ruski spy thing. No light for
so
that.
the
Okay.
irony is the fact that I do have red hair and my name is Natasha.
Okay. Were you a ballerina?
I actually did take ballet.
Shut up.
I did when I was a
No
kid.
way.
I did.
I
I
think
was
he's
a
just bored.
gymnast, and for my gymnastics, we had to do ballet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
I can't do any of the cool fighting moves though. Oh, it says it's
Mm.
hiding because I'm
You just-
hiding.
They don't want to hang out with us anymore. They're done.
I was gonna say they're just like, oh my god, are you guys still doing this?
Yeah,
keep
like
doing
what,
all these-
when did we
Closet,
start?
like-
It's okay. Before we wrap up, though, I do
Yeah.
want to
Oh no.
point out. Have you seen her Instagram with the guy and it's a girl, a gamer girl, and she's got like whatever she's got makeup all done.
Yes,
And
yes, I
she's
know
like-
exactly who
and
you're
she's like,
talking
oh my
about.
gosh, like blah blah blah. And they're like, what? And he's like, I'm Russian.
I'm
And he, like,
Russian.
it's a man dressed as a woman. And he makes a bunch of money as a gamer girl, but he's actually a Russian. And he'll be like, I am a Russian man. And it's like,
My favorite is because he talks in like this really cute voice.
yeah, it's like,
And
oh my
he'll be
gosh, like, can you
"Yes,
tell me?
yes,
And then he's
yes,
like,
yes, yes."
because I'm
And
Russian.
he's like, yes, because I'm strong like bull. And you're like,
Martha.
whoa. He is hilarious. I
Oh my
love
God,
his
he was
videos.
great. He's great.
He's great.
I was there in Chernobyl. I helped clear path of.
I'm
the-
just saying,
Yeah. Next time I
that
have
guy
one, I'll
could
send
look
it to
that
you,
hot
Matt,
as a
because it's
girl.
hilarious.
Okay, good, because I literally have no idea what you're talking.
I'm
about.
gonna send it to you.
yeah, do like a Russian gamer girl something. I don't know. I'm sure you can find
I
it.
got
She'll send
you.
something. Okay,
I
thanks.
would like to play a video game for you for being, what is it?
Essentially, yes, that's it. And then it's I'm like, what?
Yes, yes. He knows.
It goes enraged.
Back.
Picture.
Enraged.
Oh,
You are
my
not doing
EMF
the-
meter went off too. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's like, you are not doing
Move.
the
Oh, now
voice
they're
right.
fighting. It goes, move over.
Move
I love-
over. I'm trying to get in and get my opinions
Ow! I just popped my
heard.
hip. God, I'm
Ooh.
old.
No.
I had to turn. It was like crack. I was like, oh.
Oh my god, the number of times that I like get up in the morning and I'm like, all right, another day, and then you hear your knees just sort of pop, like
Turn it
like-
on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's
just
turning it
just
on?
your knees. Mine's more like I sound like a Rice Krispie bowl when it's like you'd think that I was some kind of like jacked up marionette or something. It's like
I mean, that is pretty cool.
I've fallen and can't get up.
Yeah, you need a life alert.
It's real.
It's for real.
real.
Yeah.
And then all the ghosts are just standing there like, you're so weak.
Yeah.
What
You
the
weak
fuck?
bitch.
Yeah, they're like, really? We died to watch you do it. They're somehow like attached to you, so they just have to follow you to work and stuff.
This is
and they're
what I
just-
have to deal with.
Exactly, yeah,
I
they're just
literally-
fucking bored.
When I go to work, because I work at the funeral home,
Oh my god.
I do work at a funeral. Oh, you didn't know that?
No,
I
don't
did not know that, and that's
I work at a
amazing.
funeral home. So when I talk to everybody, like they're still there, and but I do like I go do removals and stuff like that if somebody passes. But then I also work at the funeral home 3 days a week. We're gonna put a tack in this. We're gonna put a tack in this for like 2 seconds, okay?
Sure.
But we're gonna go
Sure.
ahead and wrap this up. Thank
Yes.
you, Celine and Matt, again, peculiar
You're welcome.
pairings.
Thank you
check
for
'em
having
out.
us on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys already filled out the thing, so check below. The links are gonna be down
Yes.
there. Like, subscribe, share, do all the things. 5-star reviews only. Otherwise, get bent. But until next time,
Yeah.
everybody, we'll see ya.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. If you wouldn't mind, please take a moment and give the show a 5-star review wherever you're listening. I know it might not seem like much, but it greatly helps the show and allows people to find us more easily. Also, head on over to www.patreon.com/Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy and subscribe to any of the tiers. Members of the Big Show tier get bonus materials, personalized shoutouts on the pod, ad-free episodes, access to the private Discord server, quarterly appreciation gifts, and a chance to be on the show. Not to mention video versions of the episode. Before you go, don't forget to click the link in the description and grab yourself or someone you know some self-designed merch by me, or make a donation to help keep the show going and fund future events and investigations. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok. If you have any questions, topic recommendations, or personal encounters, please send them to cryptidscreepsandconspiracy@gmail.com or submit them through the contact form at www.cryptidscreepsandconspiracy.com. I would love to hear from you and share your experiences on a listener episode. Just make sure that you specify that I have permission to add your encounter to the show and let me know whether or not you would like your real name read or an alias to maintain confidentiality. Thank you guys all again so much for your support. Until next time, my friends. See ya.